Hey guys, welcome to the next video. I'm the Worm, this is Mr. Proton. Today we're going to be showing you the re-wicking of the already pre-coiled wick that comes with the direct treating atomizer from Totally Wicked.
Makes no difference, it's the one that's with it though. The
one that comes basically in a wrap to the side.
Couldn't be asked.
Yeah, I mean it's basically exactly the same once you've wrapped your coil anyway, so yeah. I think we're going to head over there straight away and just show you that straight away.
Right guys, here we go then. Basically what you're going to need for this is, you don't really need these, but I'd recommend them. Obviously you're at E and you're present. Basically you want to open it up there, obviously, and you get your brand new wick coil assembly thing. Why can't I not open packets? Oh, it's already open. Basically just want to slide this through. Be a lot easier just to bite it. There we go. Slide it out and get your new wick out, and you will have two, if I can get them, there they are, lengths of wire. If you make them out, yeah, 2 lengths of wire, and you've got your pre-wrap coils. This one's actually seems better than the other ones.
Really?
Yeah, they seem more so evenly spaced.
Yeah, a bit like mine.
Basically, you know, I've had a go at re-wicking one of these myself. If you watch the follow-up, which is before this, a bit backwards, but whatever. Basically, what I would recommend doing, just because it's going to make your life slightly easier when it comes to putting it back together, is just give one of these a little snip. Main reason being that you can now slide one through and the other one separately, but together, if that makes sense. You can go like that. If they're both the same length, you've got to try and line up both holes and then push it through, which was a bit of a faff, wasn't it?
It was a little bit of a faff, yes.
So basically,
I am here, guys, by the way.
He's here, he is here.
The worm is here.
The worm is here. But you basically got your coil and wick assembly there, your DDA here, which if I just pull the body off, there you go. Obviously you're only going to need this bit for the re-wick. You can see the 2 holes there. All we're literally going to do, I'm going to try and do this so you can see it, is literally just, no, I might need to come in closer. Sorry guys, you're going to need to literally just thread one through, oh god.
Shaky hands.
I do have shaky hands. You need to go and literally thread one through there, that one's in, and that one through there. Okay, get your placement right. So basically, rule of thumb from what I can see is just as far as it will go. Unscrew your threadings a bit. Pull that down so I can see what I'm actually doing. Oh Christ, what is going on here? Okay, and you basically just wrap it around there. It recommends at least twice. I can't see any reason as to why you'd need that at least twice.
No, one should do it fine.
But I'll do it
twice.
I'll do it twice anyway. So twice around that one. 1, 2, around that one. Screw, screw, screw. Screw these back up. Make sure your wick's in nice and tight. Yep, that's all good. And screw it down basically until your fingers can't get your hands on them little
just remember,
nuts anymore.
After you obviously have wicked this or re-wicked it from your own coil, just make sure you test the ohmage on it.
Test the ohmage, I'll do that for you anyway. And then basically just get your clippers. This is why I recommend clippers, because they're just more precise. You can get closer, give it a little cut. There we go, one. And this one, why did I have to wrap it all the way around there? Cut it there. And that is it. That is literally it now. I think after removing the nichrome from my finger that I've just stabbed myself, I think what I would probably do, these wicks, they are very long, aren't they? I might trim them down a bit. I would trim those down slightly, just because you can. There we go. I think that's going to fit in a bit better. And obviously this end as well, I would trim that too. Trim, trim, trim. That's it guys. That is as how easy as it is. It's just, that is easy. No screwdrivers, no nothing. You didn't really need these if you didn't want to use them. They're a lot cleaner cut than their scissors are. And then literally, obviously, prime your wicks as normal. You want me to show priming?
You might as well show the priming. I mean, we're doing everything else as well.
Probably going to need a bottle of liquid. There we go. Sorry guys, a bit haphazard.
You know how we do things.
Yeah,
on the fly.
But basically, prime your wicks. Basically, I'd start at the coil, just drip a few drops on there. I'll see if I can do this with my hands. There we go. Drip a few drops on there, and just literally run the liquid down the length of the wicks. You can tell when it's kind of primed. The lip goes a bit more translucent. The wick goes a little more translucent. You can see it happening already. So basically, run it down, flip it over, try and get them all nice and evenly covered. Just don't put too much on there, and you'll be good to go. Basically, that's a prime wick right there. Then put it inside your DDA like that. That's it done. Take your top off for the first couple of times. Bit of drop, 1, 2, 3. Put 3 in to start with.
Just because it's obviously already primed.
Back on there. And that's how easy it is. It really is incredibly easy to do this. If you're using the pre-made coils, if you're using the wire and the wick that you've bought yourself, so 32 gauge clamp for, and a bit of 1mm wick, obviously,
which is what we would recommend.
What we recommend,
might not be what you have.
Might not be what you have, but what we recommend. We'd horseshoe the wick. Obviously, like that's a 4 pieces, so you'd have 8 in total. Wrap your coil around it as we showed in our re-wicking video with an over and stuff, and then just you'll have left with the starting coil at the start of. I don't know if you can see it on here, can you? Bloody thing. Saying that, I'm checking the battery thing. Let's check the ohms on that. Provari. Oh Christ!
It's gone round.
But Eagle Beaver atomizer ohms is 2.1, which is, it's a pre-bought coil, so it should be 2.1, 2.2. They recommended they are between 2 and 2.2. So that's bang on between 2 and 2.2. And now I think you probably heard it then when I accidentally did it with the Provari, but we're firing. We're vaping. Sorry guys, I didn't show you that, but we're going to go back to seeing us both in all our rugged handsomeness right now, and you can see it vape.
Hello guys again, we're back.
After re-wicking the
DDA.
DDA. To be honest with you guys, that wasn't a long video, it only took a couple of minutes, and that's with a bit of fanning around and priming it and whatever else. So this is literally straight back. It's on the Vamo now, just stuck it straight on the Vamo, and
I think he's had 2 or 3 pulls off camera just to get it whatever, and there you go. It's
just straight away out of the box working. It's as simple as that. And let's say you use the I used the pre-made coil on this, but you see I cut the wicks down because I wasn't happy with the length. I cut this end because I wasn't happy with how it fitted, and it just fits a bit better in there. It makes no real difference. I mean, maybe you can hold a little bit less liquid in between dripping with that ½ an inch missing off the wick, but I don't care. I'll still drip 7 or 8 drops and it does me fine for 10 minutes, so I'm not worried about an extra minute and a half. It's just whatever. But no, performing really well. The pre-wicked wick, like I say, doesn't really matter because you could make that easily yourself. What I recommend doing is horseshoeing, so horseshoeing like that. 4 wicks, 1mm, so it'll leave you with an 8mm piece. 5 wraps of 32 gauge canthol, leave you 2 long pieces, make one of them shorter, put it in exactly the same way, cut off the ends to make it fit. It's exactly the same process using. You did not just see that, but the Provari just literally did like a triple backflip and he's caught it in midair. My dear God, I don't think if his nephew had fallen like that he would have bothered to move then. But yeah, that's basically, you'll end up with
obviously
the same stuff.
It's a little bit more flapping around with if you are re-wicking your own coil, but then if you've been re-wicking anyway, you're used to it anyway, and it's not going to be that much different to what you're doing anyway.
It's not hard, is it? I mean, if you just horseshoe them pieces, paper clip, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Shall we put this in perspective? We started with the Argo. We had about 3 or 4 attempts on that where it didn't work with nichrome wire. We will put these out.
Very high resistance nichrome.
It didn't work because at the time we didn't have a Vamo or the Provari to whack up the variable voltage all the way to where we needed to, or test the ohmage properly, because we had a cheap multimeter from a local shop, and it was rubbish, shall we say? And basically we was getting like 19 ohms.
No, I think the highest genuine ohmage we got was like 5.5 ohms. Apart from that, it was errors on the device, like the device we was using. Yeah,
obviously the 19 ohms was an error, but it was coming up 19 ohms, 5, 19.6, 4, 19.8. It was all over the place.
About 4.7, I think eventually. But even at 4.7 ohms, to be honest, your Provari and your Vamo is going to struggle to run 4.7 ohms consistently nicely. Even if you're vaping it at 6 volts, it's still going to struggle slightly. I recommend really 3 ohms. You're going to need a mod or something serious for anyway.
Yeah.
I suppose the spinner probably could run it, but you'd be running it at 4.8 constantly, and you'd be at the very low end of the scale in terms of butter zone. So, yeah.
Anyway, wicking wise, me and Mr. Proton re-wicked his Argo about 4 times each, and we got one to kind of work just, and it wasn't even.
I'll show you the head of the Argo just in case you haven't seen it, because I'm guessing some of you guys won't have seen the head. This is the Argo. It looks wicked, but the head of the Argo in comparison to the DDA that we've just shown you is, well, let's say it's a bit more complicated, shall we? You can use U-wicks, steel mesh, you can use silica wick, you can use any manner of combinations. At the minute that's a single coil on a silica U-wick, and it does work quite nice, even if I do say so myself. Still not strong as a dripping atty, but this is with nichrome, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, we've been toying with the idea of putting a dual coil on this,
but we don't know quite how we're going to do it yet. So,
well, I reckon one way, you reckon the other. But unfortunately, anyway, it's mine.
Back to what we were saying. Anyway, we've done about four attempts each on that. It didn't work, but that was, I think, mainly the wire rather than us. And even then,
that's what we all say.
I am saying that it is a fact.
Yeah.
But when we was actually wrapping the coils, it wasn't overly hard to get them close and not touching. And we did get a few hot spots on the nichrome wire, but since we've been using the capful that come the other day, we have had no hot spots.
But this is why, if you're wrapping, we don't recommend you flame the wire beforehand, because you put it on and it's still kind of malleable and movable, easier, and it doesn't tend to be as rigid.
But that slight bit of tension you get on the capful is enough to, like, you kind of put it in tight and then you let go of it and it goes basically perfect to where you want it. So you're just a little bit tighter than what you think, and then when you actually release the tension, like let go of the actual wire, it just sits back where you want it.
Yeah, I see. My rule of thumb is basically with a paper clip, as tight as you can basically get it, take the paper clip out. The wire doesn't really move from that point, but that paper clip space is just enough that it's not going to choke the wick, but equally enough that it's going to heat it nicely and be drawing that liquid through just right.
I mean, not saying you can't do it a little bit looser if you want to.
You can do it however you like.
It's down to you. I mean, but we've literally re-wicked now several
things using the paper
times.
clip method,
and yeah, with the paperclip method, only about 3 or 4 times each.
Yeah, successfully.
And every paperclip time has been worked.
Perfect,
except for the first time. But we think that's because we used the end of the capful and it was a little bit crooked, and it just didn't quite. It worked. It
worked. It just you needed to use higher voltage than what you should have, and the vapor stuff wasn't as strong. But I looked at it. You looked at it, said it should be working fine. Kind of thought for a second and thought, no, there must be something not quite right there. We're not entirely sure what it is, but we've got 200 metres of Canthal, we've got enough wick, so we thought, like, let's just chuck that out, because obviously I primed it, chuck that out, and let's start again. And the
second time was a dream.
I mean, wrapping a coil yourself, first time probably 10 minutes, because you're going to be very like, oh, it's got to be perfect. It hasn't. It's just got to be fairly evenly spaced and the right ohms for you.
And I've re-wicked 2 Nova heads and a V3 head now. And
I've shown the V3 head actually. This is what an adaptation that we've made to the V3 head using our own methods and technique.
I mean, obviously it comes standard with 1
wick.
This is 3 1 wick.
And you're not going to have the same wicking issues with the V3 using that method as you do with the standard ones. And that is all in all about 20p's worth of wick and about a penny's worth of Canthal wire and 2 minutes of your time. It really is a much cheaper.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see down there, but
you might bring it back a bit, you might be able to. You can just see the coils down there, but they're nice and evenly spaced. And the thing is, with a DDA, you can put your coil, because obviously you get your coils perfect in your hand, you don't play about it if you put it in, you've knocked them off again. Don't worry too much about it when it's in your hand. Put it in your DDA, use a flat screwdriver to space them out.
You're done. And I will say, I was aiming for a 2.4 ohm on this. I went with 6 wraps and I got 2.5. I mean,
well, as we explained in the videos before, we use standard Nova heads and standard V3 heads. So we've tested them. Ones that are meant to be 2.4 were 2.9. Ones that are meant to be 1.8 were 2.1, and ones that are meant to be 2.8 were more like 3.1. So I don't think theirs are consistent by any means. So personally, I think just going right, okay, so I want about 2.5 ohms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, job done. If I want 1.8 ohms, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I wanted 3 ohms, 8. You're
obviously going to get them into the Nova head or whatever, or if you're using a this,
whatever you like,
you can do whatever.
You can basically do whatever you like with this. You can just, I mean, to be honest, you can have a 1 big coil. I don't power very well. I mean, you can dual coil this. You could dual coil it. Have one going in one way and one going in the other way. It's just your air hole would only be underneath one. But let's face it, that smoke, additional vapor going in there is going to come out anyway. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Maybe do that.
We might give it on this, but yeah, we might give a dual coil a go on this. I mean,
This is one of the things with doing your own wicks and stuff and the rebuildables. It's you can do whatever you like. Worst case is you test it and it don't work. But
and you wasted a couple of pence.
Do try and test it. I mean, I know we've just done a video for one of the commenters, Dan, and subscribers in that fact as well. Dan, he's been chatting to mainly me today, and he was kind of asking questions about liquid. And to be honest with you, it's just a lot easier for us to make a video, and we enjoy doing it, and it gives us. We
hope you enjoy watching us. To be honest,
yeah.
I mean, we really enjoy doing them. We have quite a laugh. I mean, you obviously are giggling about the only serious one we've done so far was obviously the Provari video,
which I did watch a little bit the other day. It wasn't quite as serious as it felt. I think it was just because it was long and late.
Yeah, I mean, we was kind of there was less jokey about it, but it was the Provari initial unboxing awesomeness.
See, this is I know this video is about DDA, and we've moved on to Provari, but it's got a DDA attached, so I suppose that counts. As you can see, I ordered one on a punt immediately the day received it. Worm's gone. I love everyone. And I've been using this and nothing but this, apart from the 10 minutes I used the Nova whilst I was letting this dry. And honestly, the flavour off of this thing is so immense compared. It's just, I've heard people go, "Oh, wait till you get onto rebuildables," and thought, well, it can't be that much better. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I was wrong. They are. I love the Nova. I do love the Nova, but I can see the flavour and vapour out of 10s that I gave it dropping. If you compare it to something like this, compare it to the Cartos, it's still bang on par. But you'll now, the Nova's a spinner and this is a Provari. That's the comparison I can make. You won't notice it straight away. Do nothing but it for a few days and you're going to notice it heavily when you move back on. So if you plan on using this when you're indoors and something else when you're out, then fair enough. Just, it's not going to be quite as consistent when you're out. You are going to be using a Nova. The Novas are still wicked. I still recommend them. We bought some for your sisters the other day,
yeah.
So still recommend them, and they're fantastic all round. They're a lot less complicated than this. But if you want a nice, simple, easy dripping Atty that is easy to replace, easy to rebuild, and you do have the option not to bother rebuilding at all, just buy your coils. All you've got to do is put the thing in, and honestly, it isn't really much more messing around than putting in an Atty head. It really isn't. You just run it underwater, take the old one out, and then line the old one, have a new one back in, and wrap it around, screw it down. It's a little bit more, but I wouldn't say it's much more complicated than putting in an Atty head.
Now, the only downside I can see to this so far is obviously the when you get like the V3 or the Nova, obviously you can wash out the heads and every week, run them on the water, let them sit on the windowsill for like a week, let them dry out, use another one, then rotate them. On this one, when you do take it out, obviously those wires are cut to length. You're going to have a pain in the arse trying to get them back in. You're going to have to recoil it every time.
That, I mean, I know that they recommend basically putting it through, up, round, screw down. I can't see any reason why that if you didn't put it up and screw it and just screwed it down, so you lost a bit off of that wire, so it was just literally put it through, screw it down, cut it to length, those screws should still hold it. It's a screw thread, it's pushing down on the wire. As long as them screws are as tight as you can possibly manage, I imagine it holds. So I suppose there is, to an extent, a way of taking one old wick out and sticking it back in. But in all honesty, guys,
the amount it costs to re-wick them.
Well, with this, unlike the Nova and whatever, you could just chuck the whole fucking thing in vodka for an hour and then take it out and let it air dry. Yeah, you're not going to have it for a few hours, but that's an option.
But if you've got two and you want them in different colours, then it is an option for you. So it's how you want to play things. I mean, for £8, getting two of them, still not going to break your budget, is it? It's still only £16. And let's put it this way: a Nova is £11 from most sites, £14 from
$14.99, $15. Basically, you could get two of these for £1 more than a Nova. I know they're different kind of devices, but they're not comparable because they're not in the same kind of device list. But I do want to point out they're not even comparable in vape performance and quality anymore. This is just so far up above everything that I've tried before, and I've got an Argo rebuildable, and it is so far up above that as well. I haven't really played around with it because it's more difficult to re-wick the Argo than it is this. If you get it wrong, it takes like 10 times.
It's a lot. So you got like a 3-screw nut on the.
It's nuts.
On
it's
the main
screws.
bolt.
It's pissing around. It's just. It is, isn't it?
It is a lot of farting around, and we every time, like the four first times we did try and record it each, it was just so much effort. I mean, Mr. Proton, the first time he recorded it and it didn't work, he tried again and he lost his rag. I mean, he hasn't got much of patience anyway, but he literally lost his rag and was like, no, and walked off. And he had a little hissy fit in the corner while I tried it.
I did not have a hissy fit in the corner.
Yeah,
I ain't going to get a fucking fit for this 24 fucking hours.
Hissy fit.
You can fuck off. But the thing is, It's not when something doesn't work because I'm doing something wrong. It's just that basically the coil was fine, the wick was fine. I mean, on reflection, the first time we was using a much higher resistance wire than we was led to believe, and we was, well, yeah, even the same thing happened with the wick though, didn't it?
Yeah, but we didn't really know what was doing with metal mesh.
I don't think it was the mesh. I think it was the wire.
No, but again, we can't really say honestly because it was the first time having a crack at it, basically. So
saying that, you could re-wick this with mesh as well. I do want to point that out. If as long as you oxidise it first, you could use mesh in here. I suppose what I would do is get your. I wouldn't oxidise it all and then roll it. I would roll it, then oxidise it, because then you could put the curve in so it stayed curved. You could curve it and oxidise it so it actually stayed bent. That might be something else. A dual coil metal mesh DDT. DDA. What is a DDT? It's a rapper. It's a DDA, not DDT. Search him though. He's pretty good. So yeah, I think the appeal to these is if you take the fact that they vape more and you get more flavour, everything's just better about it. There is slight inconvenience with dripping, but I don't see it as an inconvenience. I actually quite like it. I like the fact that you don't have to rely on devices to tell you what to do. You don't have to rely on liquid levels. You can go with a V3, you go, that doesn't taste right, and you assume, oh, it must be a roll, this, that and the other. With this you go, that flavour's not quite as strong, I'll put more liquid in, and it solves it. It's just, it does. More liquid is the way forward. So,
which I've just done there with a lot. Oh, look at that raspberry, it is dwindling away. Dwindling.
But yeah, they vape unbelievably well, and for the price, honestly, you honestly can't go wrong. Please, if you haven't got one, get one. Dan, I know you've ordered one of these. Do it. Good stuff. It is just, you ain't going to regret that, mate. I promise you. Try what I did and use this, nothing but this, for a few days, and then try your Cartos and compare them. I think the Nova's better than Cartos, and this is, I mean, even your impressions now, it's better than the Nova in it. But after you've been using it for a few days, it's like getting used to high def and then going back and playing a PS2.
On standard def.
On standard, the PS2s only have standard def, don't they? But, ooh, we're Geek Squad today. But yeah, it's such a good device. And
Head Dog.
Head Dog. I was going to call you Hot Dog, but I remembered halfway through. Head Dog. If I know you are into this kind of rebuildable kind of stuff, if you're watching this, mate, get one. I promise you, it's really good. They're really, really good.
Yeah, they got the equivalent on your site.
Yeah, they've got the, I mean, you've got totallywicked.com for you, mate, and you can get them and get that straight delivered to you, and it's probably going to work out even less for you because you're in America. So one of them things. But yeah, honestly, mate, get one. I know you're into rebuildables. I'd like to hear what someone who's into rebuildables' opinion on this is in terms of comparable against like the other rebuildables. So I know you said you're using a 350, a 357. So I'd like to hear what what your comparison of the two is.
I mean, obviously, if you are buying one of these and you haven't got a drip tip, I will just say I also ordered 3 drip heads from Totally Wicked as well, just because I wanted switch it out for my Novas and spares, and basically I didn't know what was going to look good on the top of my thing with the Provari. I mean, I went for a few random colours because I just thought, whatever, it's just they're going to be mainly spares, but they do look very similar. That is, oh, I've lost all the numbers now. I believe that was 13.
That was 13. That was when I was up.
That was 13, and it kind of looked like that on the picture, and it pretty much does look how it looks in the picture. I mean, I'm very happy with that one. I quite like how funky that one is. I mean, this one is, again, it looks very similar to, I don't know if you can just see those slight bits of green there.
But in front of you, it's almost like it's almost like hologram. You know the old so-called holograms you have on your like pictures and stuff, and you turn it one way and it'll be one thing, turn it the other way it'll be the other.
Yeah, but it's kind of, when you're up close and you've got the light, it looks kind of like a jade green.
It's like a dark jade, and yeah, it's exactly probably the best way to describe it. But it has got the glitteriness in there.
When you're like from where I am to it now, like arm's length.
So it looks green at there to me.
It does look green, but it almost
doesn't look
black.
green here. It doesn't.
But it does almost look black. But I mean, again, that is how it looked in the picture. Again, it come exactly how I was expecting it to, and this was just a random red one because I thought, well, I ran a red one.
But it isn't. It looks solid red to you. It's not. It is kind of a broke up, kind of misty red. It's good.
Again, it's got that kind of like a glass effect.
Yeah, it does.
But I mean, obviously, they're all
for the price. I think it was 3 for £4.
Yeah,
and you got a choice of about 50 or about 40. Really good from Totally Wicked. Them drip tips. So yeah, recommend them. We have got one of these coming up as well as some other stuff. Probably some.
Oh, I did also get obviously the Odyssey drip tip, but that was obviously a little bit more expensive. That was actually £5.99.
£6 for a drip tip.
On its
but
own,
it is
but
stainless, and let's face it, most sites sell
the only
stainless.
reason I got it was
about £6 or £7.
was because those teardrops do match the Provaris, so that was just a
DDA and the Provari in black. Yeah, it's just it is.
That was just more of a me being because I could.
If you've got a silver Provari, that with a silver DDA, job done. But we've got one of these coming up for you soon. This is a totally wicked. Going off camera. Totally wicked. Triple coil atomizer, 1.5 ohm.
But they are becoming discontinued, so if you want some, get in there quick. They are £150 each. Yeah. £450 for a pack of 3. That's what I got. I got a pack of 3.
But they will have equivalents to these.
They come like that.
They're probably replacing this with a slightly bigger triple coil. Or
they're all 1.6 ohms. So we're going to give them a crack as well. So that's the other reason I got the drip tips.
I do want to point out, Totally Wicked are discontinuing a lot of their Kato tanks. They're discontinuing their big 6mm Kato tank. I think they're discontinuing their 3.5mm Kato tank. They're discontinuing a lot of the Katomizers and the smoky misers and all that kind of stuff. Now, we haven't really speculated too much about this, have we? But
no.
I think there is a new Kato tank coming to Totally Wicked, which is why they're discontinuing the old one. And obviously that head nod.
But that's just our speculation.
I think there is new Kato tanks coming to Totally Wicked within the next couple of months.
They're moving away from that and going to be going more with the direct dripping atomizers and rebuildables. So
I think it's a new Kato tank. I reckon they've got a massive improvement in the Kato tank, and they want to get them, call them discontinued, sell them off as much as possible, and then replace it with something better for a similar price. Hopefully they've got a new Kato tank. I mean, maybe that Odyssey will drop in price, because for 50 the Odyssey's
quid,
not dropping in price.
It's a lot of money.
I don't know. Actually, Head Dog, do they sell the Odyssey e-cigarette on the American Totally Wicked site? I could check this out myself, but I just want to make sure you've watched this video so you can tell me. But yeah, do they do that on the American site? Because it's a UK sourced, UK produced Atomizer tank, and it's a really good quality one. I don't like the battery that comes with it really, but the tank looks lovely. It's just a dual core tank, but super high quality one. It's like 60 quid, 50 quid.
It's 50 quid for the tank and 80 quid with the battery.
Yeah,
but the battery isn't variable voltage. I would like to point that out.
Yeah, it's just
the battery is just a 3.7. So,
but yeah, let us know, guys. So we have got other stuff coming up as well. We're probably going to do a mixing video at some point soon, and we'll do a follow up to the C8.
Well, we're actually going to fill these triple coils out in a minute, probably, and we're going to do another video in a minute. So that's going to be rendered and then uploaded. So we've got quite a few videos coming today. Indeed.
I have been Mr. Proton. This is the Worm. Cheers,
See you soon, guys.